Hey guys, welcome back to Technology, and in today's video we'll be talking about a couple of things that you can do with your PETG if it doesn't seem to be printing properly. So PETG is one of the harder filaments to print with. I've had lots of difficulties with printing with it. First times I printed with it, which was not too long ago, and there are a couple of things you gotta take note of when printing PETG. First of all, it's not going to be like PLA. It's going to be way more difficult. So, if you're just starting off with 3D printing, I would really not recommend you to purchase PETG unless you really know what you're doing and you've watched videos and stuff. Number two, the quality isn't as good as PLA. PLA, you're going to get way better quality with your prints. Although PETG does tend to be a little stronger and more heat resistant, so for things like that you might want to buy some PETG. But if you're just starting out, I would definitely recommend PLA. It's simple, easy to print with, and you can get started right away. Anyways, here are some tips that can help you with 3D printing with PETG. First thing I found with PETG is it's very hygroscopic, meaning it absorbs water really well. So whenever you first buy your PETG, with Overtour's PETG, I most commonly found a silica gel in there. Most filaments will come with it, even with PLA. PLA doesn't get affected too much. You can just leave PLA in the open. That's what I've been doing. I've had PLA in the open for like 5 years now, and it's still working perfectly fine, though they still pack it with silica gel. So every time you have silica gel, keep some of that silica gel and place whenever you're done working with your PETG, place it in a plastic bag with some silica gel. That way it will keep it dry, and mainly dry. Though sometimes that still doesn't do the trick. So if you're still finding that your prints aren't coming out well, listen for bubbles. So try to run the just extrude with the extruder without printing anything, and see if you can hear any crackling. If you can hear any crackling, that means water's in the filament. Now now you got to get that water out of that filament. So the first way to get it out of the filament, the better way to do it is to use a food dehydrator. I just got rid of my food dehydrator a couple of years ago, so that doesn't work for me. Though food dehydrators, you're going to want to cut out the inside. They're about $30 Canadian. Cut out the inside little layers and place your filament in there. Leave it overnight or whatever, and in the morning it should be fine. If you don't have a food dehydrator, that's fine. You're going to want to you got to use your oven. This is a bit more expensive though, because it's going to use a lot of energy. You're going to want to set your oven to around 70 degrees Fahrenheit. 70 degrees Celsius. And you're going to want to leave it in there for 4 or 5 hours, maybe even longer. And every once in a while you're going to want to open up the oven and let some of that moisture out. You should be able to smell that moisture. I don't know if you know what I'm talking about, but if you know, you know. But you're going to want to let some of that moisture out, but don't let out any of the heat. You're going to keep it in there, and then after a while it should be all dry and ready to go. You don't want to keep it in there for too long though, because then that could ruin the filament. If it can go lower, maybe put it at 60 degrees, but 70 works fine for me. Yeah, so that's how you're going to dry your filament. That's the biggest problem that I found with PETG, and it really helped me. Second thing, print speeds. PETG is going to want to print I'd say just a little bit slower, not too slow. So just something to keep in mind. Always make your first layer slower if it's not adhering, so you're going to want to slow that down a bit. Other layers, it should be fine. If you're still experiencing lots of missed extrusions, slow down the layer speed. And if you're still getting missed extrusion, you're going to want to move on to the third tip, which is your heat. You're going to want to make sure that your nozzle is hot enough. On the Overtour 3D packaging, they recommend around 230, so I would start off from there. If you're getting too much stringing, move down a bit, move down about 5 degrees. If you're not getting enough extrusion, missed layers, you're going to want to move up. Though PETG is a very stringing filament, so watch some of my reviews and you'll see how much stringing you want to see. You just got to find that balance between stringing and layer adhesion. The more stringing you have, the too hot it is. If it's not enough layer adhesion, you're going to want to... It's too cold. You can't pump it out. Also with temperature, you're going to want to make sure that your bed is heated to around 80 degrees Celsius, if not even more. You got to have a hot bed for PETG because it does warp a bit and there is a bit of layer shift, and you want to keep that filament staying on the bed. So make sure that's also warm. Other than that, there isn't really too much to say. Maybe if you have too much stringing, you're going to also want to turn on the retraction. Retraction is going to help you. Same thing with wipe nozzle and coasting. That's also going to help. Coasting does quite a bit for me. Wipe nozzle, not too much. Sometimes it does a little more stringing than intended. But other than that, those are a couple of tips that can help you with your PETG printing. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video today, short one, and I hope you guys have, I hope this helps you guys with printing PETG. If you have any issues, please leave a comment, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Other than that, thank you for watching, and have a great day.